You are.
Later today, Ric Flair will be going, as many people say, for the final time for the World Heavyweight title. For a man who's won it 5 times, Rick, how does this extra pressure affect you?
Well, what it tells me, Lance Russell, is today, I've got the style and profile like never before. Steamboat, let me go on record as telling the whole world you are the greatest wrestler on the face of this earth. But, pal, today, right here, you gotta beat Ric Flair one more time. Remember, Steamboat? And, pal, I'll kiss your boots if you can do it. But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, right here in Nashville, Tennessee, pal, I'm the man. Ric Flair and Steamboat, you're gonna be mine! Woo!
We had say what? A whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say who's
word attack skills and vocabulary too. Cover hits in the disc edition is all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetary like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
Yo, everybody, we are back at it. Ring Time Pro Wrestling. Generally, you probably would have heard from us like 3 or 4 days ago, but real life happened, so we decided to move the show along. And what we are here for is an immediate recap of Great Balls of Fire. Well, not an immediate recap, because immediate recap would have been done last night, but nonetheless, we are here. We are back. Keith and Keisha in the building. Keisha, say hi to the people.
Hey. Let me stop playing. Hi. Hey, what's going on? Hope everybody's having a good Monday night, because, it is Monday night. So, I think everybody's just excited that Monday is almost over. I can concur. I am excited, too. So, we're all on the same page. And that's my introduction for tonight. I want to get off of this excitedness that I'm on right now, because I don't know what's going on.
All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about Great Balls of Fire. But before we do that, that's going to be the main event. We're going to give you a quick rundown of stuff that's been going on since we've been gone. Stuff we still feel important to talk about.
That's right.
One, Impact Wrestling is going to rebrand as Global Force Wrestling, Keish.
Also, they are going through with that.
Yeah, they are going through with it. I guess that's part of Jeff Jarrett being in charge now. Some people believe too little too late. I'll give my full thoughts on it in an article sometime at the end of this week. But yeah, that's happening.
Right.
Last week we were supposed to talk about how the G1 special went in the U.S. And it was awesome. It was 2 nights, action packed. You guys to watch the first night on AXS television. They ran the second night, and they're going to break it down in different parts, or the usual Friday show where they do. It's kind of funny that Friday show used to be like shows from like a year ago. Now they're doing a lot of current stuff. Now there was some criticism of Jim Ross, because the first night he was a little baffled and discombobulated, and partially because, look, they opened up the show with 2 10-man tags. It's a lot of fucking people to remember, right?
Yeah, you right about that.
Then, like, they did a lot of guys from CMLL. I don't know if Ross was familiar with those guys. It was a lot going on, right? I see some criticism about it online. Hey, man, everybody have a bad day at the office. Okay? We don't always get it right. I'm going to share a story with you about last week's show, the last show we did, where I got some things wrong and was reached out to about it, right? So we'll talk about that. Our favorite things for the week, Keish. I did not know the Motor City Machine Guns were back together.
Okay, when did this happen?
Apparently, very. I don't know, because I'm not up to date with the day-to-day of Ring of Honor as much as I should be. Like, I have the shows. They come to me on my Fight app, but I do not sit there and watch them like I should. But I just saw them wrestling War Machine, and I'm like, Machine Gun's back together.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Oh, man. So, I got to watch more Ring of Honor, Keish, because, you know, anytime you get Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin together and, you know, you point to that spot on your hand, we talking about the Motor City Machine Guns. And for you non-Michigan people and Michigan natives, you'll understand what that means. But, you know, it's
fine.
It's the
You'll get over it.
You know what I mean? It was kind of funny because there was this little, like, indie rap promotion that used to do, like, a little TV show on the local TV up there. They used to call it Dirty Glove. And I'm like, it's a mitten.
Right.
Now,
exactly.
I know for some of you that's semantics, but
no.
I'm kind of technical, so
no, forget it. I don't care. Get it right. That's what you do. You get it right. It is a mitten, not a glove. Get your life together. That's all I'm saying. Do not get it wrong. I don't care how technical that you do or don't want to be. It is a mitten. It is not a glove. Get your life together. Do not call it a glove. Call it a mitten because that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm done.
Because you can't move your fingers in a mitten.
Just saying.
Just letting you know.
Now, know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Don't call it a glove. Does that look like a glove to you? Get your life together. Seriously.
A mitten is the most unfunctional piece of accessories that has ever been created.
Mittens are awesome, sir. That's all I'm saying. Well, except for if you like me and you like using your phone too much, then you don't want to wear a mitten. Right. That ain't gonna work for you. So if you like me, you have those touchscreen gloves. They got the little special tip. Anyway, that's not the point.
Right.
Point is, it is a mitten, not a glove, and I'm gonna need people not to call it that. Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So that's happening. Dixie Carter is doing some work for the WWE. Basically, she is going to be a part of the WWE Homecoming thing for Kurt Angle, which actually I think comes on tonight after Raw. And you may be able to see it if you are done listening to us, which we probably be done by then. So
now, how the hell did they get her to do that?
Well, here's the
I'm
thing.
pretty sure they just asked. And it was
they just asked.
Yeah, cool.
She don't have nothing else to do. Understand?
Yeah, right.
Dixie Carter may be the Raw GM by the end of the year. Okay, just understand. She ain't got nothing better to do. Wouldn't
that be weird?
Yeah, no,
that would be weird.
It'd be weird, but you gotta remember, she's a mark for the business. She thinks that she probably still could be a player, right? Like, because this is what I'm assuming. I'm assuming she's kind of like Eric Bischoff. I think she liked being talent. I think she liked being in front of the camera. I think she felt like she got done wrong, and I think she probably felt like she got unfairly blamed for a lot of things that happened. In a world where she was unfamiliar, like Bischoff, and maybe trusted the wrong people. So, and a lot of things happened under her administration that she had to try to deal with that just she wasn't ready for, right? But to be fair, because of her connections and because of her parents, I mean, they kept that company alive for a long time when somebody else would have just folded up because they wouldn't have the means or resources. So, I mean, aside from that, okay, I wouldn't be too, how do I say this? Trying to put this in the right words. I would be surprised if she ended up with a role. But also, I understand this too. The WWE probably needs to acknowledge the presence of TNA. When you have so many ex-TNA talents, also, I don't understand this. Like, they are able to do a working relationship with ROH, right? Like, there's a new Kevin Owens DVD that's gonna come out. If you watch the network, they got the first look of the package, and they show all this ROH stuff, right?
Well, they did it, and even when you are looking at the video, if you paid attention to the video package that they did with the Samoa Joe Brock Lesnar match, they were showing pictures of him in ROH as well. Him holding the ROH title, him in the ring you know, during his early years. Like, this has been something that has been actually a little shocking to me, but at the same time, I'm starting to get used to, which is funny because I never thought that would be something that I would get used to.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a lot of acknowledgement of Ring of Honor. And
they even wrote an article recently about the legacy of Ring of Honor and how it's impacted the WWE because they got so many guys from there. You know what I mean? CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, working with people like Nigel McGuinness now, who's going to be doing all the UK coverage. Joe, who has TNA lineage too. You go down the list. Seth Rollins. Like, Ring of Honor has an indelible impact on the current WWE roster. Now, that being said, I think TNA now could make similar claims, but WWE has been. This is what I'll say. Okay, if this was 2010 or 2009, I get why you don't acknowledge their presence because they were a competitor. They was the only legit competitor to WWE in the 2000s. I mean, I think that's very fair to say. I mean, not that they was actually trying to rob them of viewership or anything, but they were they were moving. When they were on Spike, man, it was rocking and rolling early. I mean, at various times, it was rocking and rolling. There was times on this show where we talked about the talent roster. It was like, we think it's as good as what was going on in the WWE, right?
Right.
But I think if they will work with them, they can use some of that tape library and they get some of it. I think it would really be helpful to them, to the WWE product, just because y'all made a Sting DVD where y'all had to ignore the last 7 years of his life.
Right.
Y'all could do it. Y'all do the Kurt Angle stuff. Now, y'all could make a hell of a package, especially acknowledging the feud between him and Samoa Joe, because I think that would only enhance Samoa Joe more, right? Because we're like, oh wow, this guy was legit. He was wrestling Kurt Angle. So if you were not watching TNA or ROH and you try to understand what all these internet people are, what's the big deal with Samoa Joe, you can get that, right?
Right.
You want to put together a package for Joe. You need to be able to put a package together for Bobby Roode, AJ Styles, because these guys are becoming big stars in your company. So I feel like it would be better to establish some kind of working relationship and to be able to understand some kind of access to the tape library and stuff like that. Now, I know Anthem Sports is taking over and Jeff Jarrett's back in the fold. I don't know how much that's going to work because I think Vince hates Jeff Jarrett. I ain't got no confirmation on this, but I'm pretty confident he can't stand Jeff Jarrett.
I think so too.
Now, not that family doesn't have relationships, because Jerry Jarrett worked up there in the WWE for a while and helped him out. And when Vince was going to get pinched, they brought Jerry Jarrett to this consultant about widespread, people stay in this. Now, Bruce Pritchard disputes it, but just about everybody else confirms it. If Vince was going to go to the pokey, Jerry Jarrett was going to run things, right?
Right. So
I don't think things have gotten that sour since then, right? But I know Jeff held up Vince for that China thing, and so who knows, right? But neither here nor there. That happened. I was going to talk about Alberto Del Rio and Paige because that was the hot thing on TMZ today. That's the thing that's been kind of going around. I don't know what to make of them, Keish. I don't know what's going on. There's first they break up, then they back together. Well, it was never this or it was never that. There's always rumors. There's always something circulating around them. And then, but part of Paige always be like, look, man, we good. Y'all just need to leave us the fuck alone. And she may have a point, man.
Yeah. She, it's not even, she does. She does have a point. They do. y'all don't know what's going on. You don't know definitely what's going on. You're not going to know definitely what's going on. Just let it go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
just let it go already. Because every other week it's going to change. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This week they're together. Next week they're not. This week they're together. Next week they're not. Like, just let it go already. At the end of the day, it's a story that's become very uninteresting to folks because it changes every week. You know what I'm saying? It's something that is not consistent in itself. I don't want to hear one week that they've broken up, and I don't want to hear the next week that they done got back together and they done reconciled and all that. When in actuality, they probably never broke up at all, and everything just keeps changing like the wind in the media, social media, and the stories and all that kind of stuff. No one has time for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing to me that is hard for, I think, everyone else to comprehend and understand. We don't care. Like, I think that's the shortest way to put it. We don't care. Like, let them live already, because we don't care. Like, if she's with him next week, fine. If she's not, great. We don't care.
Now, to be fair,
number one.
To be fair to the media, though, y'all can't be acting a damn fool at the airport.
You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously.
Y'all can't be acting a damn fool at the airport. Like, y'all got to stop that shit. Y'all yelling and cussing each other out at the airport.
Right.
Y'all can't be doing that.
Right.
Also, Alberto, I get you are mad at the WWE. I know you're done with them and you hate them, but your girl's still under contract, bruh. Be easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be yelling "fuck the WWE" at the end of a pay-per-view, dog. Like, just fuck the E. TNA don't even want that shit. They cut his mic off. Oh, Impact taping, they said, after he tried to, start going on a rant. Like, no, man, fuck that. We don't want them legal problems.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Also,
now,
TNA trying to update profile, because y'all know Slammiversary was last week?
okay, so I was aware, because I seen highlights on YouTube, and what I thought had happened was somebody had labeled a video wrong or something.
No.
But then I realized this was stuff that had never happened before. So I was like, oh. So
second night of the USG1 special, Slammiversary is on. I'm on Twitter, take care of some stuff for Ring Time Pro Wrestling. You know what nobody's talking about? Slammiversary. Both timelines, for the show, personal, it's all about G1 USA. I'm like, shit. Y'all get no traction. Right. Now, mind you, I have New Japan World, right? And they got an app for the Fire Stick, dog. Okay, anyway. So I'm able to watch the second night live with English commentary. Good to go. Which means I'm going to be watching a lot more of the G1 because I can just wake up, turn on the TV, and flip on the Fire Stick. I don't have to go through the whole getting the iPad no more connected to the Chromecast. I could just go straight to it. You know what I mean? But either way, I'm just saying I'm happy. Just in case you don't know. I realized, like, damn, they're struggling to get traction. Also, very random. This is the last thing we'll do before we talk about this pay-per-view. Roman Reigns, who is in the ring right now talking to Brock Lesnar. If you watch it Raw, I hope you listen to the show. The Turn Down Raw. Because I guess he's trying to challenge Brock for SummerSlam. Yada, yada, yada. Keish. Do you understand there's a Change.org petition to have him arrested for attempted murder?
Yes. I actually saw that, and I was like, I need people to get their lives together. Like, seriously. Come on, y'all. Really? Like, how many times do we have to have this discussion about things being scripted and pre-planned? Like, I really need for everybody to understand that okay.
Okay.
I need everybody that signed this petition or had anything to do with it to understand that this is all part of the show. Get your lives together. Like, seriously. I'm not kidding. Get all part of your lives together. Because I'm done. I'm over it. Okay.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think the WWE missed the opportunity last night to maybe arrest Roman Reigns. Wink, wink storyline. Arrest him. But for y'all to want it to happen for real probably is a little stupid. Also, the way I'm watching Raw right now, you think they're going to try to set up for a triple threat at SummerSlam? Because I think they wanted Roman and Brock anyway. I mean, Brock.
Right.
But maybe Joe's performance was just too good last night.
They're not going to. I don't think they was going to try even hint at going in the direction of arresting Roman. And you know what? I have my own separate opinions about this whole Brock's performance last night thing. So
okay,
we're definitely gonna get into that when we get into the show. But Keith, we can't talk about the pay-per-view yet because there's one major thing that you're missing, sir.
What was that?
Austin Aries being released.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? From what I get, he was asking for his release, and they granted it. So yeah, Austin Aries probably will be seen on the Indies fairly soon.
But why was he asking for his release? What the hell?
He didn't like his spot, right? Like, I think he didn't like being relegated to the cruiserweight division, which 100% fair. I think Austin Aries is somebody that shouldn't be just strictly bumping cruiserweights. Something similar to Neville. I think it's kind of beyond that. So I get it. I think his injury thing was just too much too. Like he just never quite got right.
Well, I mean,
this thing with Joe and Brock getting intense.
They completely busted. He completely busted. He completely got his eye socket busted. So, yeah. I could see how that didn't necessarily heal the way that you would think. I mean, how the hell do you expect that to heal? Like seriously, that's a serious question. Like, how does that heal? Like, entirely? Like, how does that even function? I can't. I don't even want to imagine. Like that, it just sounds painful. So yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
By the way, people, I do not have Raw turned on right now because I am not trying to get that distracted in life.
Yeah, I probably should shut it down because it is so. Like I watch, like, oh god, what are they talking about? Because I can't have the volume up because of course we record. Also,
Keith, you don't do what I do and put it on mute and cut on the closed caption. Like, that's exactly what I'm doing right now with my TV, and I always do this. This is regular stuff for me, people.
Okay.
You gotta learn how to read fast.
The last thing before we get to our preview, I'll be a recap. Our Glow podcast was a hit, and it got some attention, right?
Right. Because
I'm on LinkedIn. I was talked to by Patricia Summerlin. Patricia Summerlin played Sunny, the California girl, in seasons 3 or 4 of Glow.
Oh, wow.
Like the real Glow.
Okay.
She corrected some things for me, so I would like to acknowledge the corrections. Also, Sunny has agreed to do the show, so that's going to go down sometime soon. We just got to work out the dates.
Yay!
So y'all are going to get to hear from an actual real live Glow girl. Glow lady. But yeah, she listened. She said basically seasons 3 or 4, the Glow girls were trained by Lori Palmer and Ann Larby. Labrie. Okay, I'm sorry. Labrie. Ann Labrie. Not Mondo. Mondo wasn't around for 3 or 4. And the Netflix series just is just slight resemblance of the sisterhood. I mean, I'll say the only resemblance of the Netflix story is the Glow Ladies is the sisterhood. Everything else is just kind of. I think I kind of said that. I'm not sure. Is it a fictitious account? Like, it is similar to the Showtime series, I'm Dying Up Here, which is very good. And if you love comedy, I would encourage you to watch. Of course, being a comedian, I was interested because it's based on there's a book of the same title that is about the 1970s comedy scene in Los Angeles. So they made a Showtime series based on the 1970s comedy scene in Los Angeles, but they changed all the names. Now they use some real people's names that like the real famous people, right? So like they use Richard Pryor, and they have like a cameo of a guy being Richard Pryor in there. They talk about Carlin. They try to. The goal was to get on Carson because that was a thing back then. Like that, up into the 80s, that's what made a comedy career was you got on Carson. Just different things, but for the most part, it's just fictitious accounts. So Glow is similar. Glow is like the idea is based on something that really happened, but the stories are all just made up, and the people are kind of different. Like they introduce different things, but Sunny is gonna probably give us a little bit more of a breakdown in a few weeks, and she's gonna talk about some of the things she's up to today, and the Glow ladies who the real Glow ladies, because they are still around, they are still doing things and still active, and ever since this Netflix series, they have gotten a lot of traction. They've been doing a lot of media. That's why she probably is not on the show immediately because people are busy. But yeah, she did talk about doing the show. We had a very productive conversation on Messenger on LinkedIn. So yeah, I want to share that. And I took my criticism like a man. And I shared it, and I can admit when I was maybe wrong. I have to listen back, but maybe I was wrong. And there were some things I was wrong about. But yeah, so that happened. But let's go. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. 1950s nostalgia was a selling point last night.
Yeah, I felt some kind of way about that, and we both know why.
Yeah, but, I mean, you know how I feel about things that took place prior to the Civil Rights Act, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Like I'm pretty sure me and you both were just sitting there like that. Yeah, okay.
Also,
like that's how I really felt last night.
Put like this.
Okay.
I'm damn near 40. My parents were born in the 60s. 1960, 1962, respectively.
That's correct.
I don't know people who give a flying fuck about the 50s that are under like 70 years old. Right? They got to be like at least 70 years old, right? Because Dad's 57, and he really don't give a damn about the 50s. You know what I mean? He don't talk too much about the 60s. You know what I mean? It's just like watching Happy Days. It's like it's a 70s show that's about 50s nostalgia and the good old days in the 50s. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, if you want to call it.
Right. Exactly.
Also,
I think it's funny getting the question of it goes on into that whole question of, so what was your favorite decade?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like, the fuck are you talking about? Like,
right. You remember Marcus told
favorite decade
told us that he had an assignment, and it was like, what era in history can you go back to, or which one would you go back to? I'm like, none, motherfucker. Like none.
Are you for real?
Because, like, there's no... Like, I remember sitting in class one time, and a chick was talking about that. Like, oh, my God, I would love to go back to the 1800s and see all the beautiful colonial homes and da-da-da-da. And she said colonial homes. You know what I said? I said plantations. She was mad as hell.
All right. What
like, they was.
Because you told the truth? Like, that's just
the motherfuckers there was plantations.
Like,
them beautiful houses, I had to work in the yard, man. No, fuck that. Not happening. Like, I'm not... Like, look, You understand? If I say 1960s, I'm like, shit. That's German shepherds and fire hoses. Like, I don't think. Okay.
I laugh because it's true. Like, that's the hard part about it. It's
like,
true.
Like, I couldn't go to fucking Six Flags. What the fuck?
Right. Like, I don't think people understand it. What about the 70s? That's not any better. Like, you're not getting better. Like, you're not getting worse, but you're definitely not getting better either.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to need you to get your life together.
I mean, it's like, shit. I mean, I can't fuck with nothing before 1980. And even then, like, that's like, shit. All right, bring back the crack.
See,
but
see, but I thought I had the same thought process. They were like, well, what about, what I think I've gotten the question of like, well, what about the 80s? Because, you were born in 87. Yeah, I was born in 87. I was born 3 years before the 80s went out. So technically, I was born in the 80s, but I missed most of it. Like, I don't. What the hell? Like, no, that's not helping.
Yeah.
I said, I was going to go back to the 90s because it's what I remember most. Like, and even then, it's questionable. Like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for these questions. Like, seriously, y'all doing too much. Yeah. What era would you like to visit? None of them, because I'm pretty sure in every era it was bad for black people. I don't want to visit none of that shit. Like, I don't want to know how horrible it was for my people. Like, I'm good. I think I am definitely good on that. You don't want to experience the music? That's what Spotify and Pandora is for. Like, I don't have time for this. Y'all get on my nerves.
Yeah, plus, I like it right now where you only get the highlights of the music.
Right,
like,
right.
I don't want to get the terrible stuff that happened. But aside from that, let's get back to wrestling. What I'm going to say this, Keish. I think Akira Tozawa is finally embracing this Titus brand thing, and
yeah,
I think it is awesome. I feel like they should have used LeVar Ball with Titus O'Neil when he was on the show, so you could get the big baller brand and the Titus brand together and let them talk and just be crazy black dudes in the ring.
Shut up.
Because that works, right? Because, like, Miz was okay. Yeah. And they had a good segment, but it's just...
Nah, we needed...
I needed Titus and LeVar.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But also, I'm going to say this. I like Titus in his role. Even though he is too jacked up to be a manager, I like the idea of him in his role. Now, let's get back to Great Balls of Fire, because his client did not win, as Neville cheated, and Titus was there. Akira Tozawa was pissed, and he told Titus, "Hey man, you management, you supposed to get this shit going on the road."
Right.
So
he said, but you know what? I like the fact that Titus sat there and was like, "Look, what do you want me to do for you?" Like, that was awesome. I was like, "Yeah." That's management right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Titus. I'm all for this Titus brand thing. I definitely am. I am way too into this right now. But I'm all for it because, to me, it's working. It's definitely working, and I'm excited about it. And when he got with Tozawa and was like, look, I'll handle it. You know what I'm saying? Just tell me what you want me to do. Like, I was like, yeah, Titus, handle that shit.
You get him.
I'm sorry.
Apollo Crews, and they just need like one more person. You know what I mean? This shit can run,
right.
Keith.
Right?
This shit can run.
I'm telling you, Keith. No, they don't know. Just need one more person. You got Apollo. You got Tozawa, right?
Yeah.
You need a tag team, and you need a woman. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what he needs. He need a tag team, and he need a woman in this stable. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
I digress.
But yeah, that happened. Bray Wyatt defeated Seth Rollins last night in the opening match of Great Balls of Fire. Now, Keisha, I was shocked. First of all, here's the thing. I feel like them two being in the opening match is bad. Like, we messed up in the booking somewhere, but I get it, right? Like, they got to be on the show. Right. They got to have this. But, Bray won. And one thing I got from last night, heels are going to heal. And I really liked heels being heels last night. A lot of the matches has questionable endings, but that was good. It's how it's supposed to happen. So Bray put a thumb to Seth Rollins' eye while he was outside, and it threw Seth off, and that was enough for Bray to get that Sister Abigail. By any means necessary, man. Get your mail. And I think it doesn't hurt anybody who was in any. One thing I feel like in these matches, nobody was hurt. And what I mean by hurt, I mean by like the result. Like none of the results to me indicated that nobody can come back from these matches, right?
I was hurt, but I knew nobody was hurt.
Yeah. So it was like, I watched it. I was like, all right. Like, everybody left out here still strong. Like, I could rebook all these matches and they still would be compelling. So Bray took the loss to Sister Abigail. I mean, won with Sister Abigail. I'm sorry. Big Cass defeated Enzo. I don't think anybody was surprised.
Yeah, but I love Enzo, though. I actually like Enzo.
Here's the thing, and I tweeted this last night. Though both of them are going to need somebody to do what the other guy did. Enzo's too small. Yeah. He's going to need a big guy. Cass is going to need somebody to talk for him because Cass is dry as shit.
Yeah, he sounds horrible.
Now, Enzo cut a promo before the match that was fucking amazing. Like, I don't really like him, but it would have been hard not to root for him after that promo. It was like, damn right. Yeah. Damn right. You know what? You real, bruh. Like, that's how it was. Like, it was like, oh, wow. Yeah. Like, this guy put a lot of passion in a promo here.
But that's how I felt Monday night when he cut his promo last week. Like, when he cut his promo last Monday night, that's how I felt. I was already a fan of Enzo anyway. But that right there just made me believe in him wholeheartedly. And then him attacking Big Cass after that was awesome. But that's not the point. Like, I just think, but it proves the point that they both are going to need to find what the other one provided, because Enzo is an incredible mouthpiece. Cass is a huge protector type dude. Right. He's pretty much a great muscle. You know what I'm saying? But for both of them to do what the other did, yeah, that ain't even gonna work. You know? So it gets complicated, but at the same time it ain't complicated at all. I had a feeling Enzo was gonna lose, of course, you know, the mismatch in the match in itself, but man, that dude got heart. I love Enzo though. I didn't want to see him get beat down like that. That was just sickening.
Sheamus and Cesaro defeat the Hardy Boys in the tag team handicap match. What the fuck was I right last night? Sunday was a long day for me. I'm just gonna let y'all know. It was a long day. I did not take a nap, so it is what it is. But yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, but I put tag team handicap. It was a tag team Iron Man match. Too bad these notes have hit the internet already. But tag team Iron Man match. I thought they did good. Heels go to heel. They got off to a fast start. They got a hit in the count early. They used deception, even though it was kind of illegal, but it wasn't. One thing about heel, this is good heel wrestling, especially with tag teams. It's not necessarily about cheating directly, but just putting people in bad positions, right? Miscommunication, right? Misdirection. Getting the ref in the wrong spot so you can kick somebody or hit somebody with something. You know what I mean? And then you go on from there. I like it. Get the partner pissed off so he distracts the ref and then y'all do a double team. Like, good stuff. Good stuff for both of those guys. I wonder what's next for Sheamus and Cesaro. Because they got the rub, right? Like, the Hardys are here to really get people back in the... It's just like the Dudleys. I think they're here to have a limited run to get people back in the mix and to get some credibility. Like, I thought Sheamus and Cesaro was kind of stale before that feud with them. And I think this added some life to them. And because it helped to entrench them as heels, because they were going against bona fide baby faces. So their turn to full-fledged heels worked. Because really, it had a half heel, half babyface team that kind of went babyface. So now they went full heel. And I think that's going to work for them. Sasha Banks wins, but it was via countout.
No to that shit. I'm mad. I ain't gonna lie. I'm mad as hell. I was like, really? I can't stand you, Alexa Bliss. I really literally said that out loud when the end of that match happened. I can't stand that. I had to get my life together, like, really fast. Well, I did once Sasha got out that ring and clotheslined her from behind. Like, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She hit them double knees on her from that announce table. I was excited. Like, I was like, yeah. I don't know if people know this, but, like, okay, I have this love-hate relationship with Alexa Bliss. Because it's like, I love the heel that she is, but I also can't stand her. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, I don't know what to make of that, but I try my best to just kind of, you know, have it together a little bit. But nonetheless, I couldn't stand that she retained her title last night. I'm like, boo, whatever. So, yeah. I'm really skeptical of what they're going to do with this. Like, how long is she going to hold that belt, damn it? Why? I'm having a moment over here. I don't know if everybody can tell, but I'm definitely having a moment over here. I'm done. I can't. It was a good match, though. I give it that. The match was awesome. So, they work well together, those two ladies. Don't you think so, Keith? Hey, you over there watching Raw? Yeah, he over there watching. I told him to cut that off. He gets life together. Anyway, so that was my whole take on Alexa Bliss and Sasha. I can't really argue with it because, hey, I mean, who can't argue with that, right? Two incredible ladies fight it out of the ring. And it got real after the match was over. But I was excited about that. Sometimes sneak attacks can be seen there as a heel move, but it wasn't a sneak attack necessarily. Because, I mean, Alexa shouldn't have turned around. That's all I'm saying. Had she not been gloating and acting a fool, maybe she wouldn't have got beat up like that. I mean, she fought back, and I get it, because she's the champion and all that. But, whew, that girl need to get it together. And I mean, ASAP. That's Alexa Bliss for you. She's going to sit there and it's all her world and nobody else. But she needs to chill out with all that gloating and stuff. Because it's not good. It's not a good look. It's not a good look for her or anybody else for that matter. So, let's talk about The Miz and Dean Ambrose and this Intercontinental title that they had. So, it was awesome. But, of course, The Miz won. It's not necessarily thanks to the help of the Miztourage. But, I mean, yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much how that went down. Because if it wasn't for the distractions and the Maurice distractions then I'm pretty sure Dean Ambrose would have had a very high chance of winning. I'm not saying that he would have won, but he would have had a very increased chance of winning without these three at ringside dealing with it. So, who knows? I mean, but those outfits, man, I can't. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel was just looking ridiculous, but a good ridiculous.
Well, here's the
Not
thing.
a bad ridiculous.
I think one, they didn't have any synergy in their outfits, right? So,
Right.
one guy looked like Jadina, whatever his name is. I wouldn't say like that dude. I was like, this nigga's a classic man. Like, he had his hair slicked to the side and everything.
Hey, well, I pulled up a picture of him, right?
Yeah.
Because I showed it to Lance, we were watching it together. And I showed it to him, because he didn't know, he was like, who is that? He didn't really know who he was. I don't think he ever seen a picture of him. So I pulled up a picture of him. I said, please tell me Curtis Axel don't look like him. He said, man, you do look like him. I was like, oh man, hey, if he ever wanted to play him for Halloween, like that all he had to do was just look like that. That was perfect.
Like, who did this to this man? And then, like, Bo Dallas is like in biker gear, and look, okay, I'll say this: Bo Dallas is looking very, very Wyatt-y, right? And I was like, okay, and it's kind of very counter, intuitive, because you got the guy who gets clean cut, and then you got the guy who looks all gruff and scruffy, and it's like, I think this guy could go for a Wyatt.
Right.
I would get him with his brother. And people been waiting on it for a long time. So it's just natural, right? Because the internet would be like, we'll start buzzing. And even to the casual fans who may or may not know, they would watch and be like, oh, wait, hold on, they brothers for real?
It would work perfectly.
Yeah, I think it would go over. But
now, here's the thing about Bo Dallas's look. To me, okay, I didn't really see a disconnect with how everybody was dressed. And the reason why I say it is because, like, I think to fit how the Miz's personality is, like, everybody will have their own clothing style anyway. I don't think everybody would necessarily be dressed the same. Unless, of course, like Bo Dallas forgot his bag and he just had to wear that out to the ring anyway. But I just think that it fits their own personalities, if that makes sense. Like, of course, Bo Dallas would be dressed like a scruffy dude because he looks scruffy. Like, of course he would dress like that. He's dressed like he looks. Like Curtis Axel will be a little bit more clean cut because he looks a little bit more clean cut. Like, but nobody's coming out there in wrestling gear necessarily. So, I mean, I guess that's the plus side of it all. It's like only person that's dressed to wrestle is the Miz, and even he comes out in his specialty coat with Maurice and her specialty outfit. They match because they're husband and wife. Like, of course they are going to match, but I'm not expecting a Miztourage to necessarily, I mean, when you look at Hollywood entourages, everybody's not necessarily dressed the same. So they might have on the same colors per se, but that'd be about it. And 9 times out of 10, they don't have that going on. So, like, I get it. I understood it. Like, that was my perception. That was my interpretation of it. Like, I just kind of looked at it that way. Like, well, I like both looks, though. Especially Bo Dallas's. That was awesome. But neither here nor there, because I knew once I seen all of them out there together, like, I was like, yeah, Dean ain't got a chance to hell out here. Not tonight. Maybe another night, but this ain't it. That was just me, though.
Yeah, no, I thought they was actually kind of... That's how they kind of looked. It was like, okay, these... Like, you kind of knew before the match, like, hey, man, Dean is going to be stuck in this one.
Right.
And you should lose if you ganged up on by like 4 people, right? Because Maurice is also a piece of the puzzle. He approached it well. He attacked, but he couldn't do anything. I mean, now, spoiler alert, I think there's going to be a partial Shield reunion because Seth Rollins got involved when, I guess, the crew tried to jump Dean tonight. So,
really now?
Yeah. Here's the thing. When the brand extension changed and all 3 of them ended up on Raw together this year, you have to see this is going to come, right? So, I don't know what's going to happen with Roman, but I think it's going to be a point where Roman going to be into something and he going to be struggling and his 2 boys going to show up. And then the next week, you going to hear that, dude, Sierra, Hotel, Lima, dude. Cass going to start coming down through the stands again.
Right.
The gear go change. So, yeah, let's see what happens. But, yeah, so Miz is the champ, and like I said, heels are going to heal. He did what a heel does. He used his crew. And I think this Miztourage is going to work. I think it's really going to work. And I think it's going to work for everybody involved. Because, hey, man, what was Curtis Axel doing before this?
Nothing.
And they've always tried to find something for him, but I think he's kind of bland on the mic, but he's a hell of a hand in the ring, right? Because he has the technical prowess, because, I mean, he's a heading, right?
Right.
But I think he just doesn't have the charisma yet, which he may never have. He's like 30. So I think the key is pair him with somebody who can do all the other stuff, and then develop an appreciation for his work in the ring. So, have him and Bo make a run at the tag team titles. I think it'd be something interesting. And, Miz try to help them out with that. But yeah, I think that'll be interesting. Braun Strowman defeats Roman Reigns in the ambulance match, Keish. And Braun wins, but he wins because he gets Roman in there and closes the doors. But he doesn't really win because Roman gets out and attacks Braun because he's Super Roman. So it's like you gave Braun the win, and I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't expect that. I expected y'all to keep going with Roman Reigns, but hey, WWE logic don't care. You can have a guy lose a match and then still be the number 1 contender match the next night. But
right.
I digress. Roman beat the hell out of Braun, got Braun in the ambulance, and then drove to the back, which I don't know if that changes the winner or not, but we still got Braun as the winner. Drove to the back, and then backed the ambulance up into the bus there. I mean, the truck. And people thought he tried to kill Braun Strowman. And they had to get the jaws of life to get Braun Strowman out because nobody thought to take the truck, start it up, and drive forward, and then open the back that way.
Nope, they didn't.
Nope.
Oh my God, we can't get him out. You really can, but
yeah, because I'm pretty sure that back is busted, and you could just drive forward and open it up. But, excuse me for making sense.
Now, Keith, you can't do that. That is not allowed, sir. That is not allowed. But I'm pretty sure nobody thought of that. Nobody even tried to think of that.
No.
It's fine. Nope, we got the jaws of life to get him out of the side door that he really didn't have to go out of in the first place. Like, that's fine. But then my question in my head was, so you open up the side door, right? You open up the side door with the jaws of life. Couldn't he have done that from the inside? I don't know. I'm just asking questions that I'm pretty sure I need answers. Like, that was my thought. I'm like, ain't that a way to open that from the inside? No, you can't? Okay. So, of course, I don't know what the inside of an ambulance looks like, so I can't tell you.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I know that him... Okay, so here's something that I wanted to kind of throw at you. But I kind of was actually like, huh? So they had the impromptu match, right, between Heath Slater and why is his name
Curt Hawkins
in my head? Yeah. See, this is awful. They need to show him more on TV.
Mm.
Anyway, they had the impromptu match between those two. And they both come out looking thoroughly shocked, surprised, and confused, which is I applaud them both for, because I was like, man, they look like they ain't ready at all. But I just wondered, like, what was the point of the impromptu match? Like, why did they do that? Did they do that to cause some kind of distraction, even though we all knew that wasn't going to happen? Mm. Or did they just needed somebody to be in that time slot for, like, all of, like, 2 to 3 minutes? Because that's pretty much what it was to me.
Yeah, no,
and I didn't understand it.
Here's the thing. They literally had to fill time, right? So, whether it was booked or whether it was just kind of like for real impromptu, because maybe it was booked to look like an impromptu. Either way it go, because, I mean, these guys came out putting no gear.
Right.
It gave the feel, this is what it was supposed to do. After the accident, everything is so in disarray. Nobody knows what to do next. So you have an impromptu match to give everybody kind of levity to chill out. And since Kurt Angle and the executives are all busy in the back with Braun, you need something going on to keep the people entertained. And they weren't ready to do the main event. So they went with this. Also, now as far as booking goes, this is the thing. That match, it depends on how you look at it. I think some people saw that match as just a warm-up match. No big deal, da-da-da. I think the WWE saw it as this one is a semi-main to somewhat co-main event match. And we need a buffer between that and the actual main event. Because I don't want you still thinking about Roman and Braun while Brock and Joe are going on. So what you do is you have this impromptu in the middle, and then that kind of gives you a chance to, if you got to pee, go pee. It kind of gives you a chance if you need to just kind of detox. Like, okay, cool. Like the guy getting damn near killed in the ambulance. I need a distraction from that before I go into my main event.
Right.
And that's why it happened.
Exactly.
By the way, Heath Slater defeated Curt Hawkins. Good win for Heath Slater. Always good to get a win on pay-per-view.
That's what I figured. I figured as much. So I just wanted to make sure I got clarification on that.
Yeah.
Because I was just kind of like, okay. Like, I understood it, but I wanted to make sure I understood it the way that I had thought about it in my head. Like, I was like, well, it just needed something to kind of get people away from talking about it for a second, you know, while they get everything straight and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But that was about as far as I had got with it. So I'm glad that I have that clarification now. So, yeah.
I'm kind of funny because I'm looking at things that say "fuck the revival," and I see they got Cody Rhodes whispering to somebody's ear. Somebody said to the Matt Hardy because apparently they attacked the Hardys tonight, so it's kind of a thing now.
Have you seen that whole video?
Yes.
Of like them randomly doing it is so hilarious. That is the most hilarious thing I've seen all week. Like, and it's funny. The comments under it are even better. Because some people are like, I can't believe they're saying it. Oh my god! And then like, there's others just like, Cody. I mean, the comments get deep. they're like, Cody shouldn't be this bitter in life, and he should really just get over and not be in the WWE. And then, like, some are like, what the hell is the point in this? Like, why would he hate them so much? And some folks is like petty. This is petty on a new level. I was sitting here looking at the comments like, are they not aware that these guys are friends? Like, they actually know each other? Okay. Like, I was like, if you haven't realized, I didn't even have to know this to know that this was all a running joke. Like, I was like, come on, man. Really?
Yeah, well, not only that, I find it funny and entertaining. Anyway, like, I like my wrestling to be entertaining. I like setups to actually exist where if something ever happened, you could put them together. You already got some background.
Right. Exactly. So that's why I was all up in for it. But, you know, you can't please everybody. Ain't trying to, goddamn, but, you know, it's in all there. But that's fun. They sent that to the heart. That sucks. Some people are so awful. They're so rude. They're so rude. Like, why would you even send that to the Hardys? That's rude as shit. Like, seriously.
But I think the Hardys are probably in that mix of saying, hey, fuck them. But now, what I will say this, I am very happy that they're having this happen. Now, for those people who said Cody is bitter, this, that, other, Cody Rhodes is living his best life right now.
Right?
Like, he is probably one of the top 5 hottest acts, non-WWE in wrestling right now. Right? Kenny Omega being number 1. Young Bucks probably in that mix somewhere. Cody Rhodes. I mean, the buzz is cracking on these guys. And I think Cody showed a pathway to, look, man, if you got released, life ain't over.
Right.
Get your bail, man. But let's get back to Great Balls of Fire. So we got one more match. Brock Lesnar, Universal Champion, successfully defends it against Samoa Joe. I want to say, probably match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy with the result. I thought this, and somebody put this on Twitter. I can't take credit for the saying, but I'm going to say it. Brock went over, but Joe got over.
You're right.
Okay, so if you didn't believe in Samoa Joe, or you didn't know what Samoa Joe was all about, or who he was, or whatever, you were a believer after last night. And if you, I mean, because here's the narrative now. Brock Lesnar was pushed to the edge. You legitimately saw somebody push Brock to the edge, which you haven't seen in a long time, and you haven't seen from somebody new to the scene of WWE. Like, Taker beating Brock or pushing Brock to the edge is different because he's Taker, right? All-time legend.
Right.
If Triple H or John Cena does it, it's not really the same impact, but because this guy who has been doing it 18 years, mind you, but hasn't really done it in WWE till recently, now is showing you, like, this is why we put him in the main event. Because Joe, one thing about the match I thought was going to be evident, Joe established, I ain't scared of this fool. Like, Joe became the heel early, but he also came like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I want to fight. Like, even though he might be presented as the heel, there's a no back down to it. Most heels have a chicken shit back down element to them. Not Joe. It's like, look, it's all forward. So what you have is these two steamrollers that both will try to go forward. Once again, is it movable? Was it irresistible force against the immovable object?
Yeah.
So, that's what we got here. It's Joe taking it to him. I mean, for the opening bell, before the bell, introductions. Joe, like, I got time for this posing shit.
Right.
Let's get to the fighting. But Brock Lesnar is a monster. He is superhuman. So things that he does do make sense. Keisha, I know you got some special thoughts on the match, so have at it.
Okay. So, I know from beginning to end that this match in itself was going to be... I knew it was going to be short. Like, okay, once I realized... Because all the Brock matches that have happened within the past year have been short. So I knew this was going to stretch out too long or whatever that is, or whatever the case may be. I'm not going to lie, though. I thought Brock was done after Joe put him through that announce table. I thought it was going to be over with, okay? Like, I was like, man, I think that what they're doing with Samoa Joe is absolutely incredible. The match in itself was incredible. The way Heyman announced Joe as opposed to JoJo, and then Samoa Joe attacking him from behind before we even get started with anything else. Greatness. It was something I was going to mention about this match that we talked about earlier, and I don't remember what it is, so I'm just going to continue. Like, all my memories getting bad these days. But I know that the way that it ended was awesome, and I don't feel like this is the end for them.
No.
You know?
No. And, I mean, it can be brought up at any time, right?
Right. That to me is, I think, the best part about this entire situation. That they haven't let Samoa Joe come from NXT, get pushed to the side, forgotten about. Like, you know that it's going to be more involving him in this entire situation in general. Also, the build-up for this match was its own masterpiece in itself. When I was watching the promo video that they cut before the match actually happened, and it was showing Samoa Joe and his days in the ROH and his days facing such and such. You know, when I watched them, they cut the promo on Raw last Monday, and they were in two separate rooms, and you know they were going through like how much of a bitch he is and how pussy he is and whatever else. Like, it was a lot. To say the least, it was all great for both of them. And the match might have been short, but you got a point saying that it was one of the matches of the night. Like, personally, to me, I wish it would have been like a good minute longer, but at the same time, had been another minute longer, then I'm pretty sure that it would have took away that 60 seconds. Would have took something away from that match that would have made it as good as it was.
I don't know. I mean,
so
there were people who were saying, "Look, if you threw 5 more minutes to the end of that match, you got the match of the year so far."
Right
now, I think that's a lot considering Okada and Kenny Omega happened in January, but I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's only what I put together. So, it was a lot to take in, but it wasn't so much so that it was confusing and you didn't know why this was happening or why that was happening. What is Raw's next pay-per-view? It is SummerSlam, isn't it?
Yeah, because Battleground happens in this month, and SummerSlam is in August.
Right.
So, everybody got to get ready for SummerSlam. And
ooh, that's going to be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah. So, right now, it's just trying to figure out that main event. Is it going to be Brock and Roman, which I think it might be? Or will it be Joe and Brock again? Or will it be a triple threat? Also, what's the status of Braun Strowman? Because I think all of that matters. Because you can't leave Braun Strowman out of this mix.
You can't leave him out. Not at all. But you can't have him showing up at... Okay, well, I know that he ain't going to be out. I don't know. I can't verify or deny or whatever. But I figure that he won't be out of action all the way up until SummerSlam. But, you know, I could be wrong. Because Braun is the type to just show up out of nowhere and be like, hey, I'm here. So, so I don't know. But I know that I don't know. I can't really say what he will want to do, because it was, 6 weeks later he was back? And he was estimated to be out 6 months, so that ain't no telling.
And that's the thing. I don't know if that was a legit 6 months or if it was a work 6 months. And I don't know if the key is that he's out and he came back early and then re-injured that elbow, because he was holding it last night.
All right.
So, I mean, there is that. But with that being done, Keish, that is it for us. We will be back not later on this week, but we will be back next week. Probably, I'm not sure if that's the Battleground preview or not. But barring any other...
Actually, yes.
Okay.
Because Battleground is in 2 weeks. So
we'll be back with a preview.
Well, you know what? It'll be confirmed tomorrow.
Yeah.
Night.
But, we'll have that. There will be articles on ReTimeProWrestling.com. I know we've been kind of slow on the articles. We've just been kind of slow, man. Just understand, blame it on the head, not the heart. We had a lot of stuff going on. Real life happened with us and family, and we are just trying to balance it all out, along with our own professional lives and other stuff. But we are here.
We tired, people.
You can always hit us on Twitter at Ring Time Podcast. I'm at KHopeJR. She is at Really No Quiche. You can always catch us during wrestling shows or whatever. But yeah, a lot of stuff is going to happen. We're going to do a lot more. So just be on the lookout, because we are ready to make some waves. 2017 is not done, and neither are we. We are 6 years in this game. We are damn near 300 episodes deep, and
Jesus,
we have produced a lot of content. So,
and we still love y'all.
Yeah, I think we might be over 3.
As much as we did from episode 1.
Yeah, you know, I probably should number the episodes, and I haven't. So there's 146 over at Blog Talk, right? I know that, which that starts from the absolute beginning. The Podomatic, because we had to delete stuff for spaces, this, that, the other, is not a complete library, but I imported about 50 shows over to Spreaker, and we're up to about 176 after the 50 shows imported. So we've done 120 shows on Spreaker. So I'm just saying that to say we might be over 300. But either way, we love you. We are happy to do this. Like I said, more content is to come. We appreciate everybody who stuck with us, everybody who subscribes, everybody who's on TuneIn, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, all the people who follow on the various platforms. iHeartRadio is a part of that club now. And even more, I forget all the different platforms that we produce in this show. The beauty now is all kind of auto set up, so it just pushes. Google Play, we're in there now. I don't know how many new shows are at Google Play, but we're at Google Play now. We everywhere. I'm trying to get on Zoom still. They don't even make them no more. But we there. We appreciate it, and we thank you, and we will be back in about a week and a half or 2 weeks. Peace.
We love y'all.